Hey guys, today I'm just gonna be doing kind of a video of how I practice cardistry. So it's pretty straightforward. I just get a deck, and practice whatever moves I'm learning or feel like I need to improve on. But I'm just gonna do kind of a vlog kind of thing, but not really. Just showing you what I do and maybe giving you some tips as well. Also, recently I've been trying to practice with newer decks because they're a little bit more slippery, and that way I can get used to practicing using decks straight out of the box. I don't have to break them in or anything, and I'm sure that will help improve my cardistry long term as well, for if I do an unboxing video or something. And finally, I want to say that you'll probably see some moves that you've never seen me do in a video before, and that's because this is just a practice video, which means I'm going to be practicing moves I'm not good at yet. Some of these moves will probably be choppy, but that's part of the process, and hopefully this kind of behind the scenes look will be somewhat interesting, entertaining, and maybe even motivational, because I'm not as good at cardistry as some of you guys may think I am. But yeah, let's just go. So first, of course, I just get me a deck of cards. For this video, I'm just going to be alternating between these 5 decks. They are newer and slippery, like I mentioned earlier. That will be good for me to get used to using newer cards. Bro, just wanted to open it. And I've already dropped the card. So just starting out to practice, it depends on how long I've been awake as well. If I just woke up, I probably need to warm up my hands. Or especially right now, it's getting colder in the fall here in the US. So I may need to warm up my hands by doing some finger exercises. Or I just do some easier moves like combos or beginner style moves. Just gotta get them warmed up for your harder moves when you practice them. So I don't actually have a set method for practicing. I mostly just practice whatever moves I feel like doing at the moment, and then I'll probably end up remembering, oh hey, I learned this move, I need to practice it as well. That's usually what happens with me. Now it might help though for you to have a list of moves and write down each move that you need to practice, and you can do that of course, but for the most part I just try and practice each move a few times just so I can keep the muscle memory for each one. But if there's a new move that I just learned and it's really addicting to practice, I'll do that move several times, and I'll probably stay up way too late just practicing that same old move over and over again because it's that fun. But yeah, I just practice each move several times until I feel satisfied with how much I've practiced it. Now, another thing to note though, that it's not just how much you practice, but also how efficiently you practice. So when you first learn a move, you need to kind of focus and make sure you are doing the move correctly and efficiently. You're getting all the mechanics down correctly. You're putting your fingers and gripping the packets correctly. That's efficient practice. But then once you finally start getting a move down, you can start working on speeding it up, practicing it more unconsciously, like while you're watching TV or something, and that will help you get better as well. So yeah, here's just some clips of me practicing, and you can practice along with me, of course. What the crap? Whoops. Alright guys, so here's some more information about how I practice, so this video isn't too boring, where it's just me doing cardistry and music. I didn't realize how much I had filmed, so this is just a voiceover add-on. But first, if you are wondering why some of the clips are sped up, it is because the performance is so choppy and it just takes forever, or the performance is still smooth but just takes forever. And this video is already quite long and I don't want to waste any of your guys' time any longer. It actually used to be an hour, but I've trimmed it down quite a bit for you guys, so I sped it up to make the video go by faster. And also, if you see a move that looks interesting to you, but you don't know the name of it or what to search so you can learn it, just leave a comment down below and I'll respond and help you out with that. Some of these moves don't have tutorials though, but you can, I'm sure, learn it just from a performance. But anyway, going back over some things on practicing, the decks I use are usually a lot of Theory 11s and Tally Hoes, mostly because I own a lot of them and I don't really care if they get ruined. Most of the decks that I own though handle pretty much the same. There are some exceptions though, with like Cardistry Touch and Hollow Fontaines, but for the most part they all handle great. Now some moves though do require a more broken in deck or a newer deck or a clumpier deck, so I'll use those. But again, recently I've been trying to use newer decks so I can get used to using slippier cards. And I also switch out the decks that I use almost daily, or if not daily,
That did not work.
more monthly maybe, because I don't want one of my decks to be too ruined. That way they can last longer. Now for actual times when I practice, I don't really have a set time. On a school day, I usually practice after school. If I'm able to, I'll try and practice during school if I have like free class time. I don't really do it while the teacher's teaching or anything though, because that's not really respectful, and also I don't want to get in trouble. But I usually spend a lot of time shuffling after school or the days I don't have school. I try to at least touch cards once a day though, and luckily since I am still young, I have a lot more free time and I can at least get 1 to 2 hours on most days. On weekends though, they are great because on a non-busy day, I can get maybe 5+ hours just shuffling cards. But if I do go out somewhere, I almost always have a deck of cards on me. Usually Tally Hoes because they're cheap, they're fine if I ruin them. And I also do a lot of practicing while editing my videos because that's such a time-consuming process, but it also doesn't take as much focus. And sometimes I even stay up past midnight just practicing the same move over and over again until I am satisfied. Like one time I stayed up past 3 a.m. just practicing skirt. My thumb was incredibly tired. But this leads us to some of the moves I practice. So as you can probably tell by now, I practice a lot of two-handed cuts and combos the most, but sometimes I will practice other styles like twirls and isolations and ferro effects, and one-handed cuts of course are great for while doing homework. I will practice the move a few times and then move on to practicing a different move, then maybe go back to that move, or just like to alternate the moves I practice. Now if I have just learned a new move, I will probably practice that one several times until I get it down pretty well. Or if a move is just really addicting, I will practice it several times. That's why I practice two-handed cuts and combos a lot, because I think they're really fun. Now there are some moves though that I don't practice as much because they are difficult, or because I just don't get as much satisfaction from practicing them. Like for example, scrolls used to be my favorite flourish and I'd practice it so much, but now I hardly ever practice it. But it's also kind of programmed into my hands. Not quite though, because I do still mess up, but I've practiced it so much that I don't have to practice it near as much. And for those of you who don't know, I've done cardistry for about 3 years, so I know a lot of moves, and sometimes I can forget some of the previous moves that I've learned. I'm also switching the angles, as you can see me practice, because I do alternate positions that I practice in as well. Sometimes I need to put my cards down to do chores or just for a break. Then I pick them back up but move to a different spot. I started at my desk because that's my main place for practicing. It's also good to practice over a bed or a table. My bed's kind of a mess right now though, so I can't really do that. As you can see here, I'm standing. This is when I am too focused to want to sit down. And also, I just tend to practice aerial moves standing, so I have a larger range of motion when trying to catch cards, or I drop a lot of cards as well, so I have to get up, pick the cards up, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think that's about everything. If you have any questions, be sure to comment them down below. I'll shut up now so you can enjoy the rest of the video until the outro. But yeah, I'll see you at the outro. Bye. I can end it here. Alright, so that's nearing the end of the video. Now that was only a short amount of time to practice, just to keep this video from being too long. But usually if I'm practicing for hours or something, I'll just do what I do then. I'll alternate from sitting while practicing and standing while practicing, all that stuff. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, be sure to let me know down in the comments below, and like and subscribe. And if you have any practicing tips, be sure to comment those down below as well. And yeah, I'll see you next time.